Hi, Ray. How you doing? I'm not quite ready, but I'm just about there. I'm just pulling my last little bits of supplies together to see if I can make one of these little rag dolls. So please excuse my crinkly. Hey, April, how are you doing? Thanks for popping in. I don't know. I think I might be getting a little bit of a storm here. Sounds a little rumbly all of a sudden. I don't know about you guys. I'm supposed to use scraps to make the head of this little doll, and I just have the hardest time parting with some scraps. Isn't that awful? It's just awful. Awful. Let me see what I can pull out here. Oh, this red might be good for something else. Look, there's a little piece of jean fabric. See, I've got all kinds of great stuff here in with my scraps. I should get one of those. I wonder if that would be too bumpy. My younger sister, Jackie, who says she's not talented at all in the art world, made this cute little rag doll. So I checked out the lady's, I'm assuming it's a woman, YouTube video, and I thought I'd like to try to make one. It turned out absolutely adorable. And Murray, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you that will join me or watch this on replay, know the Murray Atelier. And she has chosen doll art for the Friday Hop theme. And so she's giving us an opportunity to do either live streams or standalones that coordinate with that theme. And my sister showed me this little rag doll, and I thought, oh my gosh, how appropriate. So I'm going to attempt to make one. I don't have a prototype to show, so I'm just going to do it live, as they say. So I'm going to put my scraps back in. Now, I put my email address at the top of the screen, and I probably will do that a few more times because I have something else I want to mention to everyone. Hey, Miss Sharon Marlowe, thank you for coming in. And that way, if you have any questions for me, you can get a hold of me. So I thought that might be helpful. So the name of the site where the little rag doll idea, pattern, instruction video is called, let me see, I took notes. It's called Little Hive Crafts, and I will put that in my description box after my video processes and I get it posted on my channel. And so Mary has it when she posts it on the Time for Art playlist as well. And so you just need a few supplies. I don't have exactly what this gal used, so I'm going to wing it. She got a couple of pieces of coordinating fabrics, and of course hers is very country looking. And I don't know about you guys, but when I start a project and I go try to find similar materials to do the project, I never seem to have quite what I think would work. My husband doesn't understand why I always have to buy new stuff, but that's why. So I pulled out a few things of what I have laying around, hoping that this will work. And I wish I had a nice piece of solid pink, but I don't. I know I don't have that. So I'm thinking the pink, which I know a lot of folks don't like pink, but I was thinking that might work with the green. So that's an option. The other option is this fabric. Hey, Mama, do I need to make this? Do I need a needle? Because I can't sew. Yes, you can sew. And you can use a needle, but it's not mandatory. What you will need are 2 coordinating pieces of fabric, and you need a pretty good size chunk. Let's see. I think the one circle, you start out with a large circle. She uses a dinner plate, which is about 10 inches. I don't have a round dinner plate, so I'm going to use an 11-inch paper plate. And then you cut smaller ones, a small and the medium, and then you have the large. You need a piece of some kind of plain neutral fabric for the face. So maybe if you have a piece of muslin or linen. Hey, Barb. So that would be good. And let's see what else you need. A pair of scissors, a pencil of some kind, or a marker. Let's see what else she has here. She says a ruler, but I didn't see where she actually used a ruler, and she's not using, okay, honey. She's not using any straight pins, but I think I might grab a straight pin when we do the arms to kind of hold that till I get my thread together to tie the arms. It's very simple. She has it marked as a no-sew rag doll. So I'm going to see how it goes. Of course, you know. Now you also can use, if you have fiber fill, or I was thinking if you had a little bit of wool that you could felt into a ball, small ball shape. I think she uses like an 1.5-inch size ball. She uses pieces of scrap fabrics. That's what I'm going to try. But I think it looks like it's about the size of maybe a golf ball. So that's what I'm shooting for. So let's see, where am I now? So then I have these checked fabrics also that I think would work. This is kind of on the lighter side, but see, I have this red small country check. I might use this. Well, hers doesn't have any hair, but hair might look cute. So I know others are going to filter in. I'm just going to get started because I don't know. I just have a hard time sitting and waiting for people to maybe show up. All right. So I've got my thread. I have needles ahead of me. I'm hoping you can see me. I have my camera maybe up a little bit. I can bring it down a little closer. I've been having some lighting issues. I ordered a new light, so that should be here tomorrow. So I'm hoping that you can see well enough and it's not irritating or it's not too dull. So the first thing that this gal does on her channel to make the rag doll is she takes her first piece of fabric and she takes a dinner plate to use as a template. Of course, if you have a large circle template, you know, use that. I thought I could use my die cut circles, but they're too small. And so I'm working in a smaller space. So I'm just going to put down my fabric. I'm just going to use a pencil. I can't find my fabric scissors. And rather than digging around like a crazy person, I'm just going to use my small Timmy scissors because they're sharper, I think, than most of the other scissors I have. And I'm going to try to keep an eye on chat. I don't have my phone up and going, so the chat's a little distance away, but I'm going to try my best. If you have any questions, maybe use all caps and I can pick it up a little easier. All right, now let me know if you're not seeing this very well, and I'll see if I can make adjustments. So this is about 10 inches round. Yes, Barb. My plate is 11 because that's what I have. But the little gal on, I don't know, I'm just going to say her hands look young. So I'm just going to say she's a young gal on this YouTube channel called, I wrote it down because I'm terrible at remembering these things, Little Hive Crafts, like a beehive, Little Hive Crafts. And she calls it the Waldorf Ragdoll. So she takes her 10-inch dinner plate and she just goes around with a pencil. Hopefully this is making a mark. She says use a marker or a pencil. And I was going to try to pre-do some of this, and I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll just go in and do it. You're welcome, Barb. Let's see if I got that right. Yeah, I can see it fairly well. So, put my thread aside, dig out my little scissors. Now, I'm more of a fabric tearer than a cutter. So I'm just going to, of course you can't cut into a circle, but I'm going to cut this out in a square first. It just works better for me, instead of fiddling around with a big wad of fabric. So you may not see that circle very well. I'm going to pull my eyes down, girls, and start cutting my circle. Now, certainly you can do this all in one color. You could use 3 different colors of fabric, 3 different kinds of fabric, just whatever your taste or your preference is. And as I was looking at the video, oops, I'm already off my line. I'm thinking, golly sakes, you know, my granddaughter would probably like one of these. The bigger the circle, the bigger the doll, I would think. And you could make a bride. Hi, Mary. Thanks for popping in. Mary, it was so funny. My sister, Jackie, my youngest sister, discovered this video on making this little rag doll, and she was showing my other sister and I. We were supposed to have a sister's day today, but my middle sister got a bad cold. So anyway, my little sister made this rag doll, and it's so adorable. And then you mentioned the doll theme for August for our hop, and I thought, oh my goodness, I got to try to make one. So here we are. So I've got my first piece of fabric. I'm cutting, my circle is 11 inches, but the instruction video I watched, she used a 10-inch dinner plate, I believe. And my dinner plates are not round. So I'm improvising with a paper plate. All right. Now, if you have templates, and of course she worked in centimeters, and my American brain really does not handle centimeters. So, you know, the sizes are not exact to hers because I don't do centimeters. So hers was like 10 inches and a little. But so then to do the second circle, I probably should have doubled this and maybe made 2 of this size, but I think it's kind of a little bit of a waste of fabric. I have a hard time, you know, wasting fabric or stuff, but we'll see. Oh, thanks, Ray. I hope it goes well. All right, so my second piece, I want a coordinating piece of fabric. So I'm going to pull out this little I really like the red and green, but I'm trying to hold off on Christmassy things. Now, ideally, you want your next piece of fabric to be maybe like a 1/2 inch smaller. Okay, you want 3 sizes, a large, medium, and small. And what she did was she cut out 2 pieces um, of this larger size, the 10-inch, and then she just sketched in to get the next size. So I'm going to do it a little different, of course. I'm going to do it the way my brain works. So I'm going to take my next choice of fabric that I'm hoping will look cute, and try not to bury my pencil, which I did. I'm going to take my 10-inch plate again. Now I'm going to have some waste, but see, I'm going to use that, I think, to make the head. She uses scraps to make the head. So I'm going to make my circle again on my second fabric. I hope I don't sound too much like a teacher. Sherry, you are so cute. All right, so I'm going to go again. Cut this out. I just can't tell you. I even do this with paper. Okay, Sharon. Let's see you, baby girl. Sharon's been making salsa. Her garden's on overdrive, I think. All right, so I'm just going to cut my second circle. Now, of course, this is a large circle, but I'm going to adjust that once I get this cut out. I don't mind fussy cutting, but I'm not crazy about cutting fabric. I don't do it very well. Of course, larger scissors would really be a plus, but like I said, I didn't dig out my fabric scissors, and my craft scissors really don't cut fabric very nicely. So I'm going to just take my time. And I think it'd be better if I get all my parts prepared and less confusing if I have all the things that I need. Hey, Peggy, thanks for popping in. And then it'd be easier assembling. Now, once I see how this goes together, I would think you could make it smaller as well, and they'd be super cute, really small. And I'm thinking you could probably put them on a package. You could really, if you made little ones, you could make it and attach it to a tassel or dangle out of the back of a journal. All right, coming around the bend. She'll be coming around the corner when she comes. Yeehaw! Sorry, girls. Okay. All right, so this is my second piece of fabric. Now, what this gal did is she folded that in half. So you can see I'm off a little bit here, but that's going to be okay. And what she did is she just eyeballed it and came around and did a little circle. I'm too anal for that, I think. So I'm going to try it this way and then adjust. She came in about maybe a 1/2 inch. So I'm thinking that's about a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do it this way initially. See if that works. Now she used 2 different fabrics. And I'm just going to just draw down here. Try to have it about a ½ an inch all the way around. And supposedly when I cut that, it's going to be just a little smaller than my original circle. And I'm not in frame. I tend to sit back instead of leaning forward under my camera. And let me know. I'm hoping it's not too dark because I'm having lighting issues. But I get these ideas in my head, and I just want to go with it. And of course, if you know me at all, I have a hard time waiting for anything. Now I'm hoping that this doesn't look too square on the sides. All right, now where did I put my first circle? All right, so we've got circle 1, which is large. That's always the way. I tend to not throw stuff away for that very reason. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad. It's not quite exact, but hey, it is a rag doll, right? So now I'm going to come back, and in hindsight, of course, I would cut 2 out of the larger fabric so you don't have to do a second cut. But because this is the first time I've done this and not done a prototype, I have to come back in with my original paper plate, and I'm cutting another round. So same thing, take a marker or your pencil. You could use, if you're using darker fabric, you could use a chalk pencil. Maybe even one of our color pencils would work. I'm not sure if you could get that to work on fabric. I can't see my line up there. Right. So again, I'm going to come in here and make my piece that I'm working on a little smaller so it's a little more controllable for me. I did have my fabric scissors sitting right here. And I forget what my husband was doing. He was doing something and he wanted the scissors. I don't know if he came and got them or... Whoa. Got close to the edge there, girls. But it'll be all right. Oh, okay. Thanks, Sharon. Could you put in Zandra's shop name, please? Because for some reason I cannot get that to stay in my brain. And then if anybody wants to go and check out what she's got, they have the info right there. I also have something towards the end of the video I've been working on I want to show you girls. A Murray-inspired project. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. I know this is tedious, and if anybody's watching this on the replay, you can just, zip forward and get to the next section. But I just thought it might be nice to show you how I make out doing this. And then if I make any mistakes or just something doesn't go well or we discover how to do it better, that might be helpful. So I'm starting at the very beginning. And I really now want to sing the song from Sound of Music. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Is it allowed if you sing your own music? I know you can't play certain music. All right. So now this circle is going to be our smallest circle. So I'm going to take my circle and just cut out. And the last one I made a 1/2 inch in. So this time I want to come in about 1 inch. And make a little bit of a guideline. So I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm just going to get that top. There, Barb's with me. Do, re, mi. All right, so I'm a terrible measurer. I think from your tip of your finger to your knuckle is supposed to be about 1 inch. So I'm going to go just give myself a little guide at the top and then eyeball this to make a circle and come around. Now, I am very sure you could go on the internet and find templates of circles and not have this, hassle. I just want to see if I can envision how that's going to look. If I do here, I think it might be okay. Got the wrong piece. So now I'm going to trim that out. I think Lizzie does something like this too. So if I do that in quarters, now that I'm thinking, Lizzie Brewer does this, and I'm going to see if that'll speed it up a little bit. Oh, that might be a good idea. Probably all saying, Lori, fold it in quarters. Oops. Didn't get through that layer. All right, so now you're also going to need a piece of fabric for her face. And you're going to need a piece of fabric for her shawl. That's not as round. Let's see. So we've got a center, the smaller circle. And that's really not very round. That's how you cut yours? It didn't go so good for me. I still have a line here from my original. I'm going to trim that off. Now I pulled out a piece of, because it was just convenient, I pulled out a piece of coffee dyed muslin that I'm going to use for her face. I don't know if I'm making this better or worse. So I've got my large circle, got my medium circle, I've got my small circle, and I'm guessing, see, this is going to bug me. I'm guessing that if you do the 10 inch, or if you have a 10.5 inch plate, you're going to want maybe a 10 inch, a 9.5 inch, and then maybe like a 7 inch ish. Size-wise for the 3 sizes. She does hers in centimeters. I think she did 20 centimeters, 23, and 26. And when I say she, I'm talking about the gal on the Little Hive YouTube channel. No, that is not true. Lori's plans were canceled today, Miss Holly Walk. It's not round, girls. I'm just going to go with it because I don't want to fuss and waste more time. Okay, so the piece of, yeah, my sister day was canceled. My middle sister is not feeling well, so. And I didn't see Dee Dee on this morning, and of course I was dragging my tail. You're in your car. You're sitting in your car. Oh, let us entertain you, Holly. Okay, so what I need now is a square for the scarf, which she measured to be 7 3/4 ish, 7 3/4 ish. Of course, she did centimeters, so I don't know. It's probably like maybe 14 or something, or 20, or yeah, 20 centimeters, I think. Now I have my Timmy board under here, so I'm just going to take my 7 3/4 about there. I'm going to snip and rip. Snip and rip. Snip and rip. Let's see. So this is going to be my scarf. 7 3/4. And then I need a piece for my face. Her little face. And I think that's a 5x7. Let me check my notes. Yes, 5x7-ish. So once you have all this together and ready, we're ready to rumble. Let's see. Yes. Where was she? I don't know. I thought maybe she might be on vacation. I looked on Twitter, which I'm really not a Twitter person, to see if I could figure out. And then, of course, I started to question, is it really Wednesday? All right. I love the smell of coffee dyed fabric. Okay? Just saying. Now, of course, you can make her little face any color you want. 5x7. Now I forget what I was doing. If I was doing the 5 or if I was doing the 7. So busy yappa-dapping. Well, I don't think I did that right, girls. Is it this way I was doing the 7? Oh, yeah, 7. And then I want to do by 5. So I'm going to come in here and do this. All right. Now I've got my thread. I've got my face. I've got my scarf. And I've got my dress body pieces. Now, like I said, she used bits of fiber to make a head. Fabric, I should say. You can use fiber fill. I didn't dig any of that out. It's in too big of a hurry. And she used thread. Now, she did use a needle, but she says you don't have to. And she says, she really doesn't say anything. It's text. So she just starts balling up pieces of fabric like this to make a little head, or a little noodle, if you will. And I'm not sure how this is going to go. It looked like it was about the size of a golf ball. And I'm just scrunching this. Now, her pieces were a lot smaller. And I'm pulling out some of this really cool stuff because I don't want to reuse it. And she made it round. Fiber fill to me would be a lot easier. And I think if you had a little bit of wool and you can felt and you're into felting, that might work well. Now, see, look at this cute little scrap. I mean, really, am I going to use that inside a head? No, I can't do it. She is freaky. So when you get it the size that you think would work, she just started winding her thread around. Of course, she had some really cool maneuver where she wrapped it all around. See, this is the part that I think would be fiddly. Let me see. Maybe I can get a larger piece of something and kind of... If I use this and it shows through the muslin, she'll look like she has freckles. That can't be all bad. How cute would that be? All right, now I'm trying not to knot my thread. Getting started here. To me, it'd be like winding a ball of yarn. And I'm sure as you go, you can really add to this if you want it to be a little larger. Now, when this starts going together, you're just going to be amazed. She is... Oh, hello, Kathy. The gal that I saw this project from is on YouTube. Her channel name is Little Hive Crafts. And she doesn't say her name. It's just like a video, and she's just got text up that tells you what to do. So I don't know her name. I did not investigate beyond that. But the channel name is Little Hive, as in beehive, Crafts. And I will put that in my description box, Mary. So she made a little circle, a little ball like that. And of course, she put thread on the end of her needle on the end and poked that through. Let me see if I have something I can use. It's not real. I've got needles here, but they're all like, you know, swords. So that's going to stay. Now, she looks a little lopsided. You're welcome, Mary. And I'm just going to stab this through and cinch it up so I can fasten the ends. Now, this is where the fun begins. Our little rag doll. Now, she looked like she had some other interesting things on her site, but like I said, I didn't really check it out. And I wish I knew her name, but I just don't. Thank you, Sharon. Oops. That came undone. My needle come undone. She's come undone. All right, so I'm going to snip that. And you could really use, you know, coordinating threads, but I'm going to use the white. It might be a little easier for you to see. Okay, so now she looks like a little cauliflower head. And this is probably a little small. Let me just do a measurement. No, it's about 1.5 inches. So, you know. So she starts out with... Let me check my notes. Step number 1 is we're going to cover the circle with the large piece of fabric. So I'm going to take my largest piece of fabric, and she just popped the circle in, and she just started to gather it. Now you want it to be smooth in the front where her little face would be. Thank you, Mary. Now this is where I think maybe a pin might come in handy to hold that while you get your thread. And I believe she recommends doubling your thread so you can tie that around her little neck. And I was thinking you could really use embroidery thread. Would probably work nicely as well. So we're just going to tie this around, pull it as tight as I can. And then just make sure you leave yourself enough wiggle room to actually tie it, which I think I could have left a little more. There, I have a piece of, usually have a pair of tweezers here because I have a hard time gripping things at times. I'm going to give that a second little knot. And then she trimmed. And we just want to trim. I'm going to pick the best side of her little, and you can adjust this, you know, as you go. Smooth out her little face. I kind of lost track of the front of my face. Now I'm going to go with the second, which is a smaller piece of fabric, your smaller circle, which is your medium. And we're going to do the same thing. And you're just going to gather that around, taking care to make that front part, and I need to pay better attention to the front part. And of course, if you have fabric that is printed on both sides, which I'm noticing would probably work better for you and for me alike, but I didn't think about that. So I'm kind of just tucking and folding these sides in so I can keep that more smooth. All right. And I'm going to grab some more of my thread. I'm going to double it up. This thread that I'm using is very thin. I would pick I pick a heavier thread. I think my next one I will definitely maybe use some twine. Well, maybe twine would be a little too heavy, but a nicer grade thread and perhaps a embroidery thread. This time, instead of winding it around, I'm going to just tie it. I think that's maybe what she did, just tie it. To flip her over and tie it in the back. And I thought this was cute. At this part in her video, she just had the words typed. How cute is she already? Something like that. So let me grab my... Oh, yeah, it's hard on the phone. I always type crazy stuff. Oh, did I miss Nettie? Hi, Nettie. Thanks for stopping in. All right, so there she is already. Look how cute. She is exactly right. Look how cute she is already. Right? Okay. So now, let's see. Next step, I'm going to trim my threads. And my next step is to cover your doll with your smallest circle. Now see, my circle is not small enough because you can see I don't see enough of this fabric, right? So I'm gonna take care of that right now. And this isn't really round. This is the circle I was not happy with. So let me just come in a little bit more. See if I can do this a little better. Because you want to be able to see this second layer. It just adds character and layers, you know, to her little dress. So I'm going to try the Lizzie technique again, see if this works a little better for me. I did something not quite right, I think, last time. It's still not round. I don't know. Does anybody know what I'm doing wrong? Let's see how it looks. No, not too bad. I'm going to leave it go, but you know, you really want to make it round. I'm not getting it quite round. Hi, Brenda. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. Okay, so we've got our large circle, our medium circle, and now I'm going to put on the smaller circle, and you'll do better at this than I am. Now that's kind of wrinkly, and I want this to be the front of her. And I'm going to take care again to smooth out that front. I know, right, Mary? I think she's cute too. I'm really not a doll person, but there is a doll project I was going to work on. I've kind of been putting that on the back burner, so I'm hoping I can get my act together and do something with that. But when my sister made one of these, I thought, oh my gosh. I too wish I could find out what's causing it for going completely numb. Oh, I'm sorry you're having some difficulty, Kathy. I didn't really see what you said. I'm sorry, I was looking down. Okay, so let me trim this thread. I'm going to double or triple it up. Hi, Gilbert. How are you? I do so appreciate you leaving me a comment on my last video. I was doing some Donna Dewberry one strokes, and Gilbert is a level 2 instructor, and he had some really great helpful tips for me. All right, so trying to get that down where her little neck is, and I'm going to flip her over and give it another little tie. Now, if you have your circles cut, you know, the way they should be, this would look so much better. But you know, when it's live, you just kind of go with it. It could be a little tighter even still. All right. So then if you don't tie it, you know, if you don't wind it, like the first layer I kind of wound around. And I think if you just tie it, which I think the little Hivecraft gal did, you can straighten it out around her face. And then she said, look, she even stands up. And she does. All right, so there she is to this point. Okay, I'm going to trim off my threads again. All right, now my directions say step 4, add skin. You want to offset that head a little bit in the arms and use 2 strands of thread and tie the hands. All right, so this is what I have chosen for my face. Might be easier if, you know, this was a little maybe ironed, but it's not. Now what she did was, if I remember correctly, instead of putting it on like we did the other layers, she kind of, what I'm saying, offset this a little bit so that it's shorter in the front and longer in the back. Again, she gathered it like this to make the little face. Okay. And then she had these extra pieces that came out, and she said they could be angel wings or they could be arms. Now I'm seeing that I probably could use this to be a little longer. So I'm just going to fuss with this a little bit to see. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut a bigger piece. So I originally said this would be a 7 by 5, but I'm going to do, let's see, so the 5 inches was enough. So I think I'm going to do a 5 by maybe 9. I can always trim it, right? So I'm going to cut another piece. And I'm going to go out to the 5x9 size. So I'm going to adjust my directions there, I think. We'll see how this works. So I'm going to cover her little face. I want a little bit down there. A little longer in the back. If I go like this and tie it, then I'll have plenty for the arms. I'm going to take a drink. And hoping I don't gulp. We do white flour and white sugar. I mean, they're my killers. I mean, they're just... I'm going to take a little bit off of this. Trying to find my happy medium. So let's do... This looks like it's about 8.5 by 5. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to pick a nice little spot on my muslin here. Now I want to be able to catch that thread to tie around her neck, that fabric. So I don't want it hanging down too far because she is going to get a scarf. And I'm going to try to get it in the middle. Thanks, Ray. I think she's cute too. All right, so I'm just going to cinch that down. Get me some more thread. And I'm going to double it up. You do, Kathy? All right, great minds. We got good taste. I think I'm going to just twist that again. Give myself a little. I used to wrap up packages like gift baskets. And so if you have ever done that, you kind of fold that clear wrap down, and I feel bad tying around her little neck. I flip her over and give her another little tie here. This is like wrapping Christmas presents. You wish you had that extra little finger to make a nice tight knot. I'll use my... Okay, now let's see. Here she is. Now see, this little bit, the little Hive Crafter gal said this could be a pair of wings. And I might fuss with that and try to do that at some point. I'm going to make her arms. So you can, you can pull this around and really straighten out her little face if you want. I don't want her to have wrinkles like me. Okay. Now, this is where I think a pin might come in handy. So I have a couple of little straight pins here I'm going to get. Probably only need one, but we'll get two. And I've got some extra thread here. Oh, I wish, Sharon, I wish. Okay, trimming off my little threads in the back. Okay. Now what she did was here, now I want to check my length. I want my arms to be about the same size. They don't look too bad. So what she did was she just took her on her side and she folded down a little edge and she folded this in. You see what I'm doing? Folded down the little edge and she folded this in. And then again. Now you really could stitch it right there like that, right? But she folded it again so that she made a little hand. But that's really kind of thick. So I'm thinking maybe, for this one, I'm just gonna maybe a linen fabric. Sharon. Something a little lighter than the muslin might be nice. You know, it's a little lighter so you could fold this a little more. But I'm going to just for now put a little pin in there to just hold this. And really, if you wanted to, you could put a little corn husk, I guess, sticking out of there, or you could put a little piece of felt, make a little hand. I'm going to cinch it like she did. So I'm folding down my little edge here. But she advertised it as no sew, you know, ragdoll. So she, no glue or anything. So I'm folding this down, but you could really adjust it and do, you know, really whatever. And then I'm folding that in half again. And I'm going to put my pin in here. Oh my gosh, girls, I'm so thirsty. What did I? Oh, and Gilbert, if you're still here. Okay. So I'm going to get more thread. Now at this point, if I was doing it, and following my own instructions or my own tweaks to it, I probably at this point would use maybe a piece of twine to do her little arms and hands. Yes. We won't be on this one, but you know what, Gilbert? I had that very same idea when I was thinking about when I was getting my supplies together. You could either draw on a little face. Now, see, this might be a little fiddly. I took that pin out. But I was thinking at the very least, I might take some of my pan pastels, or I have chalks, and I've got, what else could you use? And at least give her a little cheek color. So I think I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to look in my charm bin and see what else I can do to her. So you want to make like a little hand out here. And so you're just cinching that end. And, you know, the tighter you can get that knot, I think the better it would be. You might want to go around a couple times. Let me show you this when I get it tied off. All right, so I'm going to trim my little threads. So there's her first little arm. Can you see? Bye, Hall. All right, so I'm going to grab a little more thread, do the other side. Now, of course, the cuter the fabric, the cuter the doll, right? And if you don't mind working with smaller, I'm like thinking, how cute would one of these be, you know, hanging on a journal, right? Could really downsize her. All right, so I'm taking out my pin. I maybe shouldn't have left go of that. Now the Little Hive Crafts, she just did the basic ragdoll. And like I said, she may have other videos that show how to upscale this a little bit or do different things. But I'm going to gussy mine up a little bit, I think. See what I have. See what I have right at my hands here that I can grab quickly. So I think I'm probably going to have a few more rag dolls in my future. Turn that off. So there she is with her little arms. Now, if you remember, we have one more piece of fabric left, and that is going to be her scarf. So our scarf, I believe, measured 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. She took it and folded it into a triangle. And she put it like this, I believe. This looks like it's a little too bulky to me. And she tied it around the back like that. That's way too bulky for what I have. So I'm going to try, I have the wrong fabric that way. I'm going to trim this down. The other thing I was thinking is you could also use a piece of lace, right? Or something else. I have a little piece of lace here. No, Sharon, I cannot. Maybe after the stream, I can fix it. Look, I have this piece of wide lace. I wonder how this would look. Let's see. Let's see if we can. See, so you could use a piece of lace, right? You could use, let's face it, you could use whatever you want, okay? I'm going to trim this instead of using the whole square. I don't cut very straight, girls. All right, let me. I'm not sure it would tear on an angle. Maybe it would. I think that might serve me a little better. That's not too bad of an edge. All right, little dolly, let's see how you look. If I tuck in that little edge, brought this around this way, like I don't want to, I want her arms. This will help hold her arms down. I'm having a hard time reading chat. You might see my nose under the camera. This looks like a little babushka, right? Now see, that's going to drive me crazy. I got to get that folded down a little bit. Because once it's down, it's staying. Now, really, you could pin something there, right? And that could look cute. But she wound it around the back. I'm going to give it a really good tug. And And, you know, you might need it a little bigger. This is really a tight tie here. Trying to grab that little end. Like I said, she worked in centimeters, and I don't do numbers well anyway, truth be told. I'm hugging her right now, guys. I'm hugging her. I'm trying to get that tie, but I can't quite pull that hard enough to, you know, after a certain age, you kind of lose your grip. Lose your grip. Oh. Okay. Now, if you fussed around with her, can you see her okay? I feel like my camera's not right. I don't want you to see all my mess around me. See, I could have done better here and tucking that under. I personally probably would use a little hot glue maybe here. I'm unwrapping her a little bit. I want her to come down under her chin a little, maybe more. If you really pull this, I wonder if you could go under this way. You could go under this way too, I guess, right? Right under her little arm. But I think you get the idea. Now you have to go back and watch the Little Hive Crafts video. But for today, I think what I'm going to do is just I definitely need a little more room there. Now I'm missing ideas. What are we saying here? Oh, you're talking about making your okay. Gave a cute little. I'll have to go back and look. Oh, a little rubber band. Yep. That would work. That would work. I'm just trying to be a stickler for. I love turtles. I miss the turtle thing. All right, I'm just going to leave her like that. Okay, and I'm going to thread my needle. Just lay there a little minute there, little girl. And I think I'm just going to put a little stitch in there. And then I've got a couple other ideas. Now, somewhere in my mess here, I have chalks. Let's see, what do I have really close that I could put a little blush on her little face? Let's see. Mary, all I did was take the initial ball that I made and wrap that first piece of fabric around it like we did the second and third layer. All right, so I'm going to just put my needle in here, hide my knot. She's got a little crinkle wrinkle there, but that's all right. Nothing like a little crinkle wrinkle. And I just want to cinch this here a little bit, just to tie that on. I'm not going to tie it around the back because I think my piece needs to be bigger. you know, so I could really adhere it very well. And of course, I'm not going to be able to pull that through, I don't think. I've lost my grip. Okay, I'm just going to do a little knot here. And I'm going to turn my glue gun on. Oh, okay. Right, that would be, oh, that would be great. Thank you. All right, I'm going to trim that. I'm going to turn on my glue gun. Trim off my little raggedy threads. Little raggedy threads. Fluff my little skirt. Now, over here, I have these little, let me see if I can grab something. I have these little pins, and somewhere I have, let me take another sip of water. Turn on my glue gun, which I always have my glue gun right here next to my workstation because I use it quite a bit, especially yeah, I'm going to show you in 1 minute, Mary. I'm just trying to see what I have here that I could mimic what I did. So you have your piece of, you have your circle, your initial large circle, which mine was about 11 inches. And I think the original video, hers is, she uses it like a 10-inch dinner plate. And then you take your circle of fabric, little bits of fabrics, and I made a ball, but you could use your fabric fill. Oh, thank you, Gilbert. Oh, I would appreciate that so much. Yeah, as they say, jack of all trades, master of none. I just like to do a lot of different stuff. I find something intriguing, and I just want to try it. So if you had a little ball of wool that you can felt into a circle, or a little scraps of fabric, that's what I use today, a little bit of fiber fill, something to make a ball. And that would sit under your first circle. Gosh, I don't have anything around here that I can see that looks like a circle that I can use. I don't want to take up everybody's time and do another doll. Oh, here, maybe this would work. So say this was my little golf ball. Okay, thank you, Kathy. You put that under your first circle, your largest circle, and just like we did the other layers, you just start and then you just cinch it. And then you take your second piece of fabric that's in a circle. I'll just use my triangle here. And that goes on top, and then you cinch that. And of course, your longer, you know, your larger circle hangs down lower, and then your middle-sized circle, you know, creates this second layer here. And then say your third layer, you know, you do the same thing, and then when you come around and cinch it, it makes this third layer. So you do all the layers the same, which then creates the body. Now I'm thinking I'd like to have a little button to put here. And I'd also like to have some beads on my little pin. But Lori's been putting stuff away, and I didn't get any of that stuff out. Let's see what I have in here, if I have anything in here that I can quickly grab. That's way too big. Boop, boop, boop. Any other time I got stuff sitting all over, you know. This is the problem when you start cleaning up. Yeah, Mary, I'm trying to answer that question, but I don't, you're not, I guess I'm not doing a very, you don't really The first circle is your body. The first circle is the body of your doll. Your large circle. So let me just, so you've got your piece of fabric. Hey Janet, how are you? Thanks for popping in. So you've got your large circle here. If nobody's in a hurry, I don't care. I've got nothing to do all afternoon. I'm happy to do this. So you've got your circle. This is going to be really big. Let's do it this way. Maybe if I fold it. See, it's not, maybe it's not square. Maybe that's the issue that I'm having with not making it round enough. Let's try. So you want 3 circles in different sizes. You want your large, medium, and small. Oh, I should have done pink. I'm not a fan of pink, but I like this pink fabric I have. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here to not get this complete circle. I'll have to pay attention when Lizzie does it next time. It's still not round, girls. What am I doing that's not making a round circle? I'm driving myself crazy here. I'm going to come undone, I say. See, this is where I drive myself crazy because I have to, I don't really think of myself as a perfectionist, but I just want it to be right. Let's see if this will help. Let's just see. Now, so much stuff stacked in front of my drawers. I have a drawer here of wool. I could pull out a piece of wool, which would make a really nice head. Icy? Is Icy here? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Frida? Is Frida here? Frida, is that you? Oh, it is Frida. Hi, Frida. Girls, Frida is my friend from Norway, I believe. And we did the swap of some goodies. Oh my gosh, what she sent me is like Christmas Day. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're doing well. I was so thrilled with my goodies. And I wish I knew where I stashed them. I'm rearranging, as always, my craft room. Can't find anything. All right, so that's going to have to do. All right, so then we took our little bundle of scraps and we made our little head. Okay. I'm going to use all these little bits that I cut away. And oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Of course, Frida's timing, you know, her, it's probably, what is it, evening? Is it late evening where you are, Frida? I'm not sure if I know the time difference. That's the trouble I have with my bonus son, figuring out when, every time I think to message him, he's, you know, sound asleep. So I'm going to make this head maybe a little smaller. I don't want it to be too small. Let's see here. Now what I need to do is make another piece of, I'm going to try to tuck that in. I should have got my thread together. Let's see. I just had some embroidery thread. Let's see if, oh, here's a little piece of yellow. That might not be too much. Might not be enough. Let me just, I like the idea of the embroidery thread because to me it feels a little stronger than my white. 8 o'clock in the evening. Oh, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, let's see. I'm just separating separating this embroidery thread because I don't need it to be this thick. But I think it is a little excuse me, a little heavier and a little nicer to work with than my other. The white thread I have here is really kind of just a little cheapy. This was the hardest part, I think, for me, trying to hold this together. When I dig out my wool or my fiber fill, I'm going to do that instead of this kind of a head. I think the first time I met Icy might have been in one of Murray's streams. Oh, look, I didn't get enough off. If I'm remembering correctly, but that was a while ago. Happy Meal from Another Country is just absolutely thrilling to me. All right, now this little gal might be a little lopsided. And Hive Crafts, she had hers, she was smarter. She put hers on a, oh, I don't know what I did with my needle. Well, I hope I don't step on it. Da, 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 dee, dee, da, da, dum. All right, let's grab another. I'm going to see if I can. Oh, I got it threaded. Woohoo! So I'm just going to bring that thread through there. Kind of give it a tight pull so I can get her little head attached here. And not attached, but keep its shape. Yeah, I know. I'm getting ready. I'm working up to it, Mer. It'll all become as clear as mud in 1 second. Hey, Rain, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay. So I've got my little head here. This one's a little lopsided and a little smaller than the other, but that's okay. I've got my larger circle, which should be about 10 inches. Could be a little larger, you know, whatever you deem is appropriate. Got my little head, and I'm going to take a piece of my embroidery thread this time. And all you do is take your little round piece that you're going to use for your head, put it under your circle, and just start smoothing this out to create your little noggin. Okay, it looks like a little ghosty. This one looks like a little ghosty. Okay. And I'm going to take my piece of embroidery thread and I'm going to give her a little tie. I'm flipping her over and I'm going to give her another little tie. Yes, the biggest circle. That's what you start with. Tie it again. And that's how you start. This is her body. This is the first layer, the biggest circle. All right. So on my original little girl, that's this layer here. Now, Gilbert, close your eyes. Look. So that's her underneath. And that was the largest circle. So then your next circle should be about a ½ inch smaller than what you originally started with, which of course I didn't measure. Let's see what I have here in blue. This is really dark, but that's all right. This might be a little too small. And I guess you could leave it square, you know. Let's see here. Let's see if I can annoy myself further. But let's not forget, it's handmade. Let's not forget, it's a rag doll, right? So Lori's going to be a little easier on herself. or so she thinks. And I'm just going to use my flattened circle. And let me just see if this will work. See, that's a little too short. But hey, she's going to be a little wonky. That's all. Let me just see if I can. Oh, I didn't cut my threads. Let me cut my threads. And I need another piece of. She's going to have every color thread. I'm using all my scraps. I'll call her a little scrap doll instead of a little rag doll. So I'm going to smooth this down. This will be layer 2. Yes, you keep covering the head. And this, you know, see, this just won't do for me. I can't do it, girls. And Gilbert. I've got to make it round. I've got to. I've got to. I can't do it. Can't do it. Let me see. This circle here is, now see, this is a darker fabric, so this is going to be a little fiddly for me. That's really going to be small. This is only, oh good, she gets it. By George, I think she's got it. You know, I mean, how can you not have a decent circle here in your little craft area? I think I need to maybe come this way a little. And the little beehive girl, I'm saying beehive, but the Little Hive Crafts, she said minimum of 2 fabrics, you know, but you could do, really, you can do whatever you want. So if I just do 2 on this one. Look what I did this time. Okay. Yeah, I realized you missed the first part. My circle is getting worse. Is anybody like really laughing? This might be really too small. Plan 374. Well, girls, as they say, there is more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, look at these little things. See, this is a piece of, see, I'm all over the place. I should be on medication. This is a little flowerette from a piece of lace. This might be a little too big, but see how cute would something like that look attached to her? Might be a little too large, but if you have a little flower, you know. Oh, girls, this is my sister Jackie. She inspired me to do this. Jackie thinks she is not talented, but she is talented, and you should see what she does with wool. And she is eating essentials. She's an authority on essential oils, and she is a terrific sister. I have wonderful, wonderful sisters. All right, I'm going to do a square. Jack, I'm struggling with making the circles. Whee! And she's a Jackie, J-A-C-I, Jackie. Let's see, that square might be a little large. Maybe just a tad. I'm going to take, oh, this fabric? Oh, okay, Barb, thanks. Let me just take a little more off of this. Oh, the littler pieces don't tear as easily. So let me just quickly put this on her. Try not to leave her sitting in front of the camera. I'm going to tie her little noodle down with a piece of yellow. Thank you, Mary. I think they turned out cute. The first one turned out pretty cute. Of course, you can tweak it as you go, you know, and you make your own, do your own thing. This kind of reminds me of when Jackie and I were young, and our sister Nancy. We lived next to our grandma and grandpa, which was heavenly, and she would read us stories and do all kinds of things with us, play games, Uncle Wiggily, you know, all kinds of stuff. And she liked to read out of those Ideals magazines. Ooh, that broke off. Okay. So there's my second layer of that crazy fabric that the camera doesn't like. And this kind of reminds me of one of our favorite stories that our grandma used to read us, the what was it, Jack? The Matchbook Girl? Now I have another piece of muslin here somewhere that was smaller. Let's see if I can grab that quickly. Woo! There goes my little egg, my little gourd egg. And this little rag doll kind of reminds me of what I would think the Matchbook Girl would be. So instead of doing the 3 layers like I did here originally, I'm saving myself from cutting yet another horrible circle. I'm just doing a 2-layered dress. All right. And I'm going to cinch her like that. And I might have to give this a little bit of a trim here because that'll bug me. That'll bug me. And I'm just going to, for contrast, I'm going to grab, yeah, you love doll. You do great things with dolls, Mary. Okay, so I'm going to try to make her a little, smooth her little face out a little bit. Jackie, when I put the, went to put on the, like the bandana, I thought that was a little too bulky of fabric, so I cut mine in half. All right, I'm going to cinch her up. Now, the thing about using rubber bands, if I think about it, Mary, versus using some thread, is if that rubber band ever decides to come apart, that might not be good. So I just flipped her over and I'm giving her another little tie in the back. You couldn't get the arms long enough? Yeah, I increased the size. I was saying to the girls it was more difficult for me because of the centimeters, because my brain doesn't work in centimeters. And the way that the original video does it, she had it look what you really could do like an angel and not have arms, have wings. So let's see how that looks. If we did that, I'm probably going to be upset with myself with the way I trim this, but I'm going to trim this. I just don't know which way I want to cut. See, if my husband was here, he could figure that out for me. If I cut it that way, it's going to be like a ribbon. I'm going to do it anyway. Now I have this little piece of lace here. It's really not that little, but let's see what we can do here. If I take a little piece of the lace, and I know the camera doesn't like this blue, but what if I put a little bit of this blue? Just enough to give a little depth of color under my lace. Look how cute that looks. That looks kind of cute, right? I think this little arm needs a trim or a little wing. I'm going to give it a haircut. I can almost hear the wheels in Mary's brain spinning. She's got ideas, I'm sure. I gotta stop cackling like that on my... Look, this could almost be like a little apron, but I want to get it small. Let's see. It's way too long. So let me get rid of some of this. And then I'm going to trim some of this off. And I'm going to cheat and use some hot glue. If I tuck that way, and if I cinch this, all right, girls, this is a work in progress. Hold on. I want to give her a little glue. Now, I have asbestos fingers, so if you're using glue, of course, put strings on the apron. Yeah, sure. I'm just going to get my crochet hook. I'm going to crochet me a couple apron strings. Oh, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here in a minute. All right, I'm going to trim this off. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I pulled it up too soon. My hot glue wasn't cool. So stinking hot here. Oh, I love her. Yeah, crocheted chain would work, but you know what? I think I'm going to go with ribbon. I'm going to pull that up and cinch that up a little better in the back. Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Look, girls, I just was at the nail salon yesterday. I got hot glue on my nails. Oy, oy, oy. All right, I'm going to give this a little trim in the back. I'm going to leave this one's arms all fluffy, I think. I need to glue that down, I think, right there, because I want to be able to see her little face. I want to see her little face. All right, now, can Lori get to some ribbon? This is the, oh, well, you know what? Let's just use this. Look at here. I have some white cotton twine type. Ow! What the heck? I just stubbed my toe on something. Guess that was my chair. So I'm going to take a little piece of this and I'm going to make a cute little, hopefully, a little double bow, triple bow. Haven't done this in a while. Let's see if I remember. And slide it off your fingers. Give her a little fluff. Of course, I think ribbon would look prettier, but I'm just going to do this. And this is going to be her bow for her apron. Now you can make it, man, I really hurt my toe. You can make it a lot cuter if you pay attention and cut those circles appropriately. Man, I hope I didn't just bust my toe. Woo! All right. Now, oh, you know what, girls? I just found that needle that dropped on the floor. I think I just stubbed my, that's what I stubbed my toe into, and now I just kicked it with my big toe. Oh boy, that doesn't feel so good. Let's see. I don't think I have any teeny tiny seed beads here, which I would really like to have a couple seed beads. So here's my two little girls. Let me just, I'm going to put that little piece of lace there. That little flowerette. You can see what I'm doing there. All right, so there's two little dolls. I don't know. I think my toe might be bleeding. Wowzer. I might have to, I'm going to get my magnet, see if I can get the rest of that needle before I do more damage to my foot. There it is. Busted needle. Does not feel good when you stab it into your toe. I don't know where the other piece went. Of course, girls, I never wear shoes. That's the other. Gosh, I hope it's not stuck in my. Oh yeah, I am bleeding. I hope it's not stuck on my foot. Sisters, sisters. That's another good movie. White Christmas. I think that's what it was. All right, so I had a little, oh, here we go. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, this is all big stuff. Big stuff that I might want to take apart. Well, I think my seed beads are in the other room because I was going to do some bead work. And I don't think I have anything. Lord, help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord, help the sister who comes between me and my man. Oh, love that movie. Love it. Well, let's just do something really easy because I have them right here. I think I'm just going to get a little charm out and put a little charm on these gals if I can find something that'll work that's small. I know there's a couple really little tiny. Ah, there's a little red rose. A little star, a little silver star. Let's see, there's a little fish. I don't think any of them will work. I'm looking for something really tiny. Because I know there's some of them that are so small. I thought to myself, what will I ever use them for? Well, for a little mini rag doll. Oh, what's this one? Oh, look how cute that is. That's cute. I'll do two little flowers. I can always unattach them. Because I'm just going to attach them with a little bulb pin. So on this little gal, I'm going to just put this little flower. I'm going to pin it to her apron and skirt. What do you think? Can you see her okay? Now you could put buttons or, like Peggy said, some rickrack. This gal, I'm going to put the little, I might put little seed beads on here later, but for now, for the sake of our video, let's see where I want to pin this. I'm just going to pin this here. And then I was thinking, of course, I don't know where I put I have two little pans of chalk that I like to give her a little rosy cheeks. Oh, I know what I could use, girls. It just came to me. Let me get my little, I can use my Timmy stuff. My Timmy, thanks, Peggy. My Timmy, oxides, right? Sorry for the clunk. Got out my little makeup thing. Okay, so I think I have something pinkish. Yeah, let's see here. Candied apple, or perhaps, let's try the picked raspberry. Okay, this could all go wrong, girls. This could all go wrong. Let's do a sample. Let's do a test. Now, this fabric's a little different, but it'll give me a general idea. So I'm just taking this little, oh, yeah. Okay, I don't want her little red dot, but let's see. Well, she's out working, selling her matchsticks in the cold. And her little face gets a little chilly. And she has to tighten up her babushka. Will this bleed on the fabric? You know, I don't know. But I'm not going to wash this little chick, so that might be a little too much. What do you think, guys? And I'm going to push this little babushka back here so I can get her little cheeks. Give her some little cheeks, too. You could, before you put your head on, or even after, stitch little eyes, or like Gilbert said, you know, you're going to put a little face on it, little seed beads. You know, you could do really anything. I kind of like them with a no face. All right. My first dolls. Look. Dolly number 1, she's got the 3 layers. And dolly number 2, she's got a little bow tie on the back with her apron. So there you have it, guys, gals. All right, girls and Gilbert. I need to get out of here because my toe is bleeding. I think I have to have a look at it. And I need to find the rest of my needle that I knocked on the floor. And so I don't injure myself again. Vanessa, hi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I think they turned out cute for the first go round. Next time, I'm going to, for sure, cut my circles better. All right. Thanks, Sharon. And thank you, Sharon and Holly and Mary, for modding for me, putting in those links. Oh, one thing before I go, I just want to show you this. I don't know if anybody's interested. As most of you know, I sell with Keisha on Keisha's Market, and I do sell sometimes on my own channel. And Mary often says that she's inspired by Dee Dee Willingham, which Dee Dee inspires many of us, but Mary also inspires. And so I was watching Mary the other day, and she was working in, I think, her monthly journal, if I'm not mistaken, Mary. And I just love the way she put it together. And I thought, oh, I want one of those. So I put myself one together, and I made some other ones. So if anybody's interested in a Murray-inspired journal, you can private message me. This is my email. I'm going to show you one, and then we can talk. Let me put in my paint. I'm Paint Girly. And then if you feel like journaling along with Murray, you know, sometimes you don't have what you think you need, or you might not have the time to put one together. So if you private message me here or send me an email, and I'll just show you. It'll come in a Tyvek envelope. I had some fashion magazine book pages that I thought were cool. And I just put in a bunch of different kinds of paper. See, and then we can art along with Mary. So if you'd like, I've got a couple of these. So if you message me, we'll work something out. All right, girls? They're all different. We just got crazy stuff in them. They're just put together very rustically. But I've been drawing in mine. I did a clothespin, of course. Mary, that clothespin stamp you made was just beyond fabulous. Absolutely adorable. So I have that. And I think that's it for me for now, girls. Thanks for joining. I so appreciate you being here. And oh, I have a new comment. Let me click down. And Murray, I'm not sure what I need to do to get this up, but once it processes, I'll touch base with you so we can get this on your playlist. Thanks for popping in. Oh, Peggy, my pleasure. Thanks for being here, gals. I'm sure there's something going on tonight on YouTube. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. All right, girls. Gilbert, thanks for joining us. If you're still here, Icy, it was great to see you. Hope to see you again soon. Take care. See you all soon. Jack, I'll talk to you later. Hugs to everybody. Bye-bye.